Now then, guys, welcome back. Liverpool win 2-1 against Southampton. Here is my full match debrief analysis. I want to go through Chiesa. Where's that? No, I want to talk about Chiesa because that was so impressive last night. I also want to talk about the man Leoni. I want to talk a bit about Curtis Jones as well, and also Ashley. They're the four, for me, standout performances in this game. And listen, if you watched the game, the match preview, that came out 2 days ago, you will have been informed about the team 2 days before the game, because of me. George in the know predicted the team exactly right. You've got to be around it, you know what I mean? Subscribe so you can find out this in the know. I must just stress, I'm not in the know. I'm not even near. And sorry for no video last night. I was on the... Why did I say that? I'll carry on. I was on the loo. All right, have that. And I've woken up with a cold, which doesn't help. But we're going to soldier through anyway. Listen, I've got to start with Chiesa, and overall, by the way, we weren't impressive. For me, we weren't very good. It's a cup game. I'm not really bothered about the team performance. In terms of team cohesion, it's never there. You've rotated 11 out of 11 players. So what, okay? This is where you get a bit of a flavour of individual performances. Players who maybe have a bit to earn and a bit to prove. Maybe, Curtis Jones, that midfield three in our first team, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, looks pretty irreplaceable. Like, you do well to displace one of them from the starting 11. But I think Jones had a bit of a task on his hands to do that. And I think, actually, he made a pretty good case for himself in terms of overthrowing one of them midfield three, maybe for the next game. Certainly not for the whole season, of course, but Jones came off early in this game, and then the team started to turn. We started to lose more of the ball, and I was looking on Twitter, so I did my match reaction on TikTok, and I screenshot the picture of Jones, put it behind me on the green screen. And when you, on Twitter, like briefly scrolling through, Jones were getting hammered online for not being progressive with his passing choices, getting us up the pitch and I really don't know. Jones keeps the ball better than most players in the Premier League. Not just Liverpool, in the Premier League. He's so good at retaining the ball. And I'd rather that than someone who loses it, in my opinion. And I think Jones was that good that when he came off, we really looked a lot worse. And, they scored. Is it a coincidence? They scored and the tide started to turn when Jones came off? I don't believe so. I don't think that's a coincidence at all. And listen, he came off early. Does that indicate from Arne Slot that he's going to plan to start him against Crystal Palace? Maybe so, I don't know. But listen, maybe Szoboszlai to right back because Frimpong played the full 90 there and Bradley came on. Maybe Szoboszlai plays a right back against Palace, Jones into midfield. I don't know, I'll throw that idea out there to you. But I thought that was a really impressive performance from a player who, I'm going to talk about here, has a lot to prove. And a lot of these players have a lot to prove. None more so than Federico Chiesa. I want to touch on Leoni and Ashley later on, among a few others as well. And we'll just get this in there now. Isak, first goal, debut start, that's exactly what you need. Of course it is. Confidence boost. He took it really well as well for me, first time finish. It's one of them where, you'd expect him to score that for 150 million euros. Okay then, mate, shut up. You're going to be fun this year, aren't you? My word. Great. I mean, you can't ask for much more. Came off at half time. Obviously with Ekitike doing what he did, we'll talk about that in the end as well, because what the hell happened there? He will be playing a lot more minutes against Everton, you would like to think. But Chiesa, we'll talk about it later. But Chiesa, that is a performance from a man who was pretty knocked down in terms of confidence. I mean, he came in as an only signing, by the way, the only signing we brought in, right? So he came in on his own. He'd struggled with injury issues prior to coming at Liverpool. They then came back, so his playing time, his game time was pretty, disjointed, I guess is the right word there. But then even when he was fit and raring to go and clearly wanted to play, he wasn't being preferred over the other choices. Maybe it'd be a Diaz or someone else on the right, or even then when he was fit, he wasn't being played. So what chance has he got? And that was only the first stage of it. Then you get to this season, and Engamo has been preferred over him. A more senior player, Chiesa, than Engamo, a 17-year-old lad, with respect to him. Chiesa must have been thinking, what the hell's happening here, in terms of the Champions League squad, that is. Engamo's been picked over Chiesa in the Champions League 23, man. Chiesa must be thinking, what the hell have I got to do here? I'm coming on against Bournemouth. I scored the winning goal against Bournemouth. I've played in this competition before. You know what I mean? He must be thinking, well, surely I'd be preferred over this young lad, with respect to him. And listen, I made a vid at the time. I entirely rate Arne Slot for doing it because he clearly backs his own players, and Engamo he clearly backs. And if he wants Engamoa, he can have Engamoa. His decision's the right one in my eyes. But still, you've got to understand it's a bit of a kick in the teeth for someone like Chiesa. So when you consider all that, you consider what he's been through this year and last, to go and get 2 assists in the game, to be fair, he was our best player, man of the match. And to do that with all the context around maybe confidence being low and earning his place, I just think it's one thing being impressed by the assist, and the other assist, because he got 2, by the way, it's another thing being impressed, which I am also, by the energy, the enthusiasm, the work rate, the desire, the hunger to always win the ball back. He was an absolute threat every time he touched the ball. Always making things happen, whether it be looking up to get a shot, a cross to Isak. I think he put a cross in from genuinely there at one point, just lobbed it into Isak at one point. He's always taking a man on. He's always positive, pretty tunnel vision, and I really rate that, considering again everything that's been going on in his season so far and last season. And listen, you look at that next game. Excuse me, this throw is killing me. You look at the next game against Palace, and Ekitike is missing the game. Isak will start the game. Who will play the last 20, 30 minutes? Because I don't think Isak will play the full 90. I don't believe he's fully fit. He came off at half-time, so that indicates to me he's not. I see a world in which Chiesa maybe goes up front for the last 20, 30. And I think, what better time to play him, right? 2 assists, man of the match, really great performance. Get him in the team. I find it very hard to understand how he's not being used, because whenever he is playing, he's contributing. His minute to goal, or contribution to minute to goal, is that right? Goal to minute, whatever. His ratio must be friggin' unreal. It must be one of the best in the team, right? So positive, very good. And Gamoa, I think, he had his glimpses, yeah. Chiesa was certainly the better winger in my opinion, but of course nothing better. You can't bash a 17-year-old lad. I thought when he was on the ball, by the way, made some really exciting things happen. Maybe trying too much at times, but overall, good, fine, great. Leoni, I think. Leoni was a bit quiet, I thought, in the first half. I think Jones, when you got someone like Jones who always wants to get on the ball, like this guy's coming between the two centre-backs to receive the ball, it's very hard for him to shine because he's not actually getting on the thing. So I thought Jones was the more superior number 8 there, in my opinion. To be fair, it was more like that, wasn't it, really, at times? Like, Leoni was kind of here. Endo, I thought, struggled. Maybe in this game, a few more mistakes than other players. But Jones was just fantastic. I spoke about him before. I can't believe people are bashing him for that performance. Robertson, fine, in my opinion. Gomez, a few sloppy mistakes in the first half, certainly. But again, I find it very hard to criticise a team, or a defence, certainly, whose only goal they conceded, albeit against Southampton, yeah. But this is a rotated team. They've never played with each other as a 4. Not even as a 2, right? This is, it's a first game for a centre-back pairing is always a tough one. I find it very hard to criticise you if your only goal you concede was from a corner, personally. And Mamardashvili had a great game, in my opinion. A really great debut start in the competitive start. Surely that's all you can ask for a goalkeeper. The only goal you concede from a corner, which wasn't even your fault. It's like, I thought it was fantastic. I've got to say. Frimpong maybe struggled. I think at times a few passes going a bit wayward, and you'd expect him maybe to be above the level here slightly. With no disrespect to any of these players, this guy's come from a Leverkusen side, playing every week in the Bundesliga, and I believe it was a bit below his level. If I'm being truthful, there, nothing to be concerned about at all. I get it. You're playing with 3 new players in a new league competition, whatever. It's fine. I'm not worried about any of these bad performances because I think there were some maybe 6 out of 10s in here. Robertson, fine. I want to talk about Leoni because we're going to end it on this. I mean, how far we're into the vid? I don't want to drag this on too long because my throat's killing. Leoni was fantastic. And when you look at... no player deserves an injury, obviously, not what I'm saying. But it's like, certainly not him. Like, it was amazing. What a performance. It's like, oh my God. I feel so gutted for him. I'm so gutted for this player. He was fantastic in that first half. First half especially. Second as well. Really grew into it. I thought he was so smart in the way he was holding off players when he was... I said this when we signed him. To be fair, before that, when we were interested in him, I said, he's so good at gauging whether to commit or when to stand back. And I just believe that really came through today. In fact, it was that. I don't know why I've got this on the wrong side. When he's stepping into these areas there, stepping up, being aggressive, and I think Konate's very good at that as well. And that's good, right? Both, 2 right-sided centre-backs who, like for like, could come in and play a similar kind of role. Thought on the ball he was okay. Where a lot of people saying he's not been particularly great on the ball in Italy, etc. Been one of his biggest weaknesses. I just thought, yeah. And there were times where he was like telling people where to go, he was giving it the arms, he was dictating, like sorting his back line out. He's an 18-year-old player there making his competitive debut for a new team. Wow. And that injury, I mean, I don't understand the point of that AstroTurf, by the way, because surely it's not a good thing. And like, how unfortunate for the lad. And touch wood, it's not a bad one. We'll, I assume, find out today. Yeah, I really hope the best for Leoni because that is, again, no player deserves an injury. That's entirely not what forget I said that. That's not even what I nearly mean. But it's so undeserved given the performance. Even just missing the game from a knock, forget a possible ACL, whatever. Just like to end the game, to tarnish it in that way, then it's not so undeserved, mate, completely. I'll give us a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10. Liverpool won the game. We're probably going to end this on Ekitike, right? what the hell happened at the end there. Get involved, please. Get involved. Get into the comments section. Dive in there because I'm so confused. He's clearly forgotten he was on a booking. But the first one, right, in my opinion, was, what are you doing? But I get it. You're a striker. Like, you've just come on frustrated. But it's like the second one. He knew he was... Put it this way. Ekitike didn't realise he was on a booking or forgot he was on a booking. Went to take his top off, knowing he'd full well get a booking. Like, he knew that. That's not... The rules are the same in every league. I don't care. You can't use the whole new signing thing in this. He knew he was going to get booked. He took it off and he knew that was going to happen. Obviously, he forgot he was on one already. That's a mistake. My concern with this is... And listen, I put a tweet out last night saying, people need to draw a line under this and forget about it. Ekitike has been fantastic this year. This does not erase any of that. It doesn't even nearly counter it, in my opinion. Everyone makes mistakes. Darwin Núñez friggin' headbutted someone. Right? This is, I'm trying to say, and he's a number 9 for Liverpool, and that was early in his career, of course, at Liverpool. Ekitike is forgotten, and everyone's bashing him for no reason. Some people actually think it adds to his character. I disagree with that slightly. Let's not, we can all push and pull. We can all have a laugh, but ultimately, if we lost that game, it's probably on him, I've got to say. Mistake or not, he's going to own that mistake, to be honest with you. What was I saying then? Yeah, the only thing for me is, like, why are you taking your shirt off and holding it in front of the crowd? It's like, I get he made a mistake, he forgot about it, but he scored a tap-in against Southampton. It's like Arne Slot said the exact same thing. I don't know if you've seen it. Arne Slot's like, if that was me, I'm going over to Chiesa and thanking him for passing it to me. The winning goal, I get that, winning goal, 5 minutes to go. But yeah, I make of it what you will. Ultimately, I genuinely don't even think it's worth talking about for longer than 2 minutes. This should be drawn. I know how this will work now, because I'm telling you now, if we drop points against Palace, which I don't think we will, we should win that game in my opinion, although they're on a massive unbeaten streak right now, I think. If we draw against Palace or lose against Palace, God forbid, I guarantee you all the talk about Ekitike, because he now misses the Palace game. It'd be why we say we lost against Palace. Why did Ekitike get sent off? He's put us in a position there. Yeah, he has. But I believe against Palace we should have the 11 players on the pitch, and a rested 11, by the way, pretty much, to win that game. For me, our squad is good enough to win that game. So I don't know. I'm sure we'll see after the Palace game. But in my opinion, this is a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. We've all done it every single day. I can forgive him personally. I don't think it's a big deal. I do think it's a different story if we did lose that game, but we didn't. Like, that's the point in this, surely. What's happened has happened, and I'm talking about what's happened, weirdly. I'm not talking about what could have happened. Be here all night, be a fucking 3-hour-long video. You've got to forget about this and put a line through it. In my opinion, he's been one of our best players this year, and don't forget it. Listen, Liverpool win 2-1. There's my lazy, slow match reaction, which I didn't even frigging use the tactics board, but you can have it anyway, just to visualise the team. Nice one, guys. I appreciate it, and sorry for the drowsy me and the bad throat. Sorry, guys, and cheers for watching. Thank you.